Ladies and gentlemen, all of the tricksters from the second YouTube channel, today we have another tier 3 sub from the Discord server, VOD review. And on our coaching table, we have a Platinum 2 Omen on Bind. Now, my friend Mundae from Portugal submitted his main clip, but also like 2 more clips that we need to review for him. And we will see what he can improve and do better to become a Radiant player in this game. Now, I don't have much game sense since I started playing Valorant recently. I've been trying my best to improve at the game, and so far it's going great. And I'm here to learn about my mistakes, as we all are. I mean, in Valorant, like, your improvement process never stops. Like, there's always something new that you can learn, improve, like, to become a better player. Like, even when you reach Radiant. Like, when you think that you know everything about Valorant, you know nothing. Jon Snow. Basically, like, you know, I would rate my game knowledge as a Radiant coach, maybe like 9 out of 10 for ranked solo queue. And for esports, like maybe 7 or 6 out of 10. So there's still plenty of stuff that I can learn, improve, like, so, you know, we're all in that process of improvement. Now, here's a short clip of me playing as of today. I'm currently Platinum 2. So he ranked up from Gold 3 to Platinum 2, and he submitted 1 clip for a review. Let's see that clip on Jet. If there's anything better he could have done. So, we're playing split, enemies are pushing B main, Raze is satcheling in his face, a bit of sprayeroni here and there.
Party's over.
You know what, like what I immediately don't like in this clip, like, as soon as you heard the Raze was satcheling, you should have activated your dash ability. Like, basically, when you're playing Jet, or Chamber, every single time you die, without using your TP to engage enemies, or without using your dash to engage enemies, you've done something wrong. You've done something bad. Like, basically, even if there is like 10% of chances for me to engage enemies in a certain fight, I'm gonna activate my dash ability. Like, you will see in my Unranked to Immortal series with Jet, I abuse the dash 24/7. Like, whenever I fight the enemies, whenever I engage the enemies, whenever I think I'm gonna fight the enemies, I'm gonna use it. Especially now that the dash is nerfed. Just use it. Like enemies are pushing, enemy Omen did a flash, you know that there's like 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies in the main. Insta. No ego, no discipline must be there. Like, remember this tip. Every time you die, like, when you're self-VOD reviewing yourself, every time you die, with the dash ability still here, not activated, go next. Like, basically, you could have done something better, and that better is activating the dash ability to have a second life. I like the confidence. But basically, this discipline will cost you enormous amount of matches. Not because I don't trust you. I don't trust your teammates. Like, even when you get these 3 kills, there's still a huge chance that your teammates will lose this round 4 versus 2. Like, in Valorant, basically, one of the highest priorities for you as a player is, number 1, fighting together with your teammates, playing on numbers, and understanding how to play on numbers, how to play the proper team play game, having the discipline to make the numbers advantage and then get the fuck out and abuse that numbers advantage to fight the enemies. Like, you will see that even when I'm smurfing, I don't know, even if I'm playing in a low elo, if I'm playing with the silver players, I'm still gonna play as I play in Radiant lobbies. Same. Like, I'm gonna play absolutely disciplined. I don't give a fuck about the kills. I don't give a fuck about hitting 5 headshots. I just wanna win the match, be done with it, move forward. Like, you need to get in a mindset of playing Valorant like you're working a 9 to 5 job. So, you queue in at 9, you finish a job at 5, your boss says, hey man, I have another task for you. You say, you either pay me more, or I'm going fucking home and giving a fucking... and I'm quitting. Which maybe you cannot do that because, you know, you have 5 kids and you need to support them. But in Valorant, you don't get any bonus at all. Every single win and loss, like, feels mentally draining. And I heavily recommend you, like, I like the 3 kills that you got, but ability user 0. And this undisciplined place will cost you enormous amount of... I really cannot wait to see, like, what's happening on Bind for you with Omensky. He also has a second clip. What could I do better on this play? I know I played terribly in the end. I could go just better and reload the op, but I didn't see. I did. So this is the second clip. He's playing with the op on ascent.
Flat.
Let me see. So in this clip, my guy is speaking in the short with the operator on ascent. First of all, I don't like how wide you're holding this angle. Like when I'm holding this position on ascent, I make this angle much more narrow. Like there's no reason for you to hold this position this wide if your crosshair is gonna be there. Like tighten the angles. Like as narrow as your reaction time allows you. Like there's no reason for you to have all of this space here that might cost you the life while you're trying to reposition after a missed shot, maybe. Why would you have that space? If you're planning to hit the target there, just remove all of this space here. Unnecessary. Always hold the angles in Valorant as tight as your reaction time allows you. If you already want to hold some of these common positions, essentially. Oh, we're gonna tank a lot of damage here. Also, my man, like, you know, like, when you're playing Jet these days, like, you cannot waste smokes and utility like this. Like, I would argue that smokes are more important than dash at this moment of time. Like, they last nothing, but they're a really good tool to play with the enemy's mind, to keep your location a secret, to reposition, make a cover for yourself. Like, what was the point of the second smoke? If you already wanted to reposition, why you didn't do it with the first smoke?
Enemy spotted B.
my dude cleaned the angle. Swiped it.
Mid hit 97 bush.
Also, another thing that I don't like is Ascent is a fast rotation map. Meaning that, essentially, on this map, you should primarily focus on playing on the refrag potential with your teammates and rotating as fast as possible. So here, when you already saw that enemies are pushing the B side, like Phoenix as at the switch, enemies speedway. Fuck the enemies on mid. Your teammates can die at any moment of time. Like on Ascent, I never prioritize the fights. I never prioritize my fights, and I never prioritize like site control. Like I always prioritize the numbers, fighting with my teammates, and making them live a happy life. Like on this map, playing a retake on both A set and B set is piece of cake compared to some other maps. And your rotations need to be really fast. Like here, as soon as this guy died, you'll see here, like I think Phoenix dies or Brimstone dies. That's it. You're running. Changa, like there's no walking anymore. Fuck it. Like you don't care what's happening on mid. Like you immediately rotate.
Mid hit 97 bush.
Okay, also like in these lobbies, like generally speaking, like when enemies are very low in numbers or very high in numbers, on Ascent when you're retaking the B set, you always need to be ready for some kind of a peek here in the CT area of the map. Like 90% of times, someone is gonna peek you there, especially if the enemies have a pop flash agents such as Phoenix or Reyna. You need to take this area of the map methodically, meaning that you consistently need to hug some walls and angles. Like you need to move like this to that wall, and then from this wall to this wall, and then you're retaking the B set to the CT.
Planted.
Here the pop flash of Phoenix. Okay, the Astra did the stun. That gave it away. Good kill. Activate the dash. Very good. Let's go for the next one. Okay.
If he's not more.
I mean, to be fair here, like, if you already have a dash ability activated, like, I understand what you're trying to do here, but instead of going for these blind shots, it is much better for you to use this dash ability to clear the site and close the gap with the enemies a bit. Because you don't know if the enemies will be peeking you, but probably in this rank people have zero discipline, and you can always expect some stupid peeks like this Reyna, Astra, and this type of idiots. But while your teammate was fighting in the speedway, you should have been focused on clearing the rest of the site and the front and taking the frontside control for your team with a dash ability. What the fuck? He actually love that. Okay. Overall, you know, not really a winnable round. You didn't have that much HP to retake all of this. It was not bad. Except, of course, you know, you hit the wall with a... You missed your dash ability somehow. But you see, like, some of the small things that you can actually do to improve your gameplay already, like on both Ascent and Split. Generally speaking, on Ascent and Split, like on these maps, you want to have a fast rotations. Side control is never your highest priority. You want to play a semi-aggressive playstyle on a defender side, meaning that you want to pressure the enemies like 24/7 somewhere, and go for the picks and make a numbers advantage. And but overall, it's fine, except, you know, the things that you didn't do right. Not even the e-girl bonus. What? Probably something that I said before. Okay. Now, let's see the Mundas. I don't know. Mundo. I'm gonna call you Mundo, man. Let's see the Mundo's Dr. Mundo tracker. So, he started playing Valorant recently, actually. Like my dude didn't play that much. This is the first act that he played the game. Not bad. Not for a player that has this many hours in the game. This is good. Like, I feel that, you know, with your mechanical skill and performance that I only saw from these first two clips, if you play 3 matches per day, every single day, in one act, I feel that you can be an Ascendant 3 low Immortal player without any problems. Just purely based on your mechanics and mechanical skill as a player. Maybe Ascendant 1, like I would say. If you don't improve anything else, and if you invest some time in the game. Okay, not bad, solid, whatever. So this is the act where you play the most. ADR is fine, KD is good, headshot percentage is nice, not very good actually. And my guy is maining Reyna, Omen, Chamber, Jet. Like, you need to settle down, bro. You need to settle down. Like, generally speaking, I feel that what you should be maining primarily is Jet and Omen. Like, what is the reason for that? I feel that Omen is definitely gonna improve your overall game sense and awareness that you're maybe missing right now, and your overall game decisions, because I've seen that some of your game decisions make absolutely zero sense. With Jet, you're performing really well, 61% win rate, and I can definitely see that the Jet suits you really, really good. I would recommend you to stick with those two agents only, and don't even consider touching the Reyna and Chamber yet. With Reyna, maybe you have a good performance now, but trust me, you will be heavily punished, and you will be hard stuck Immortal for enormous amount of time if you don't improve the other aspects of your gameplay, and not only your, you know, gunfights and gunplay and mechanics. With Reyna, I feel that, you know, with Reyna and Jet, you're probably gonna get up to Immortal 1 easier, but the thing is, in Valorant, the more shortcuts you take to get to Immortal levels or Radiant levels, the more problems you're gonna have later on. So I would just recommend you stick with Jet, stick with Omen, and just abuse these two agents to get to Immortal levels, and then, you know, implement Reyna, Chamber, or whatever else you want to play. With Razor also, muy bien. What is the worst map for you? Ascent. You see, maybe on Ascent you can play Omen. Like, Omen on Ascent is really good agent. Like, on Ascent, I would recommend you to, you know, try Omen and Jet. Fuck the Reyna. Reyna on Ascent is like poo-poo caca, like, fuck that agent. Like, Jet is also, after the nerfs on Ascent, like, I don't know, I feel less impact than what I had before. Like, on Ascent, try Omen and Raze. On Bind, Omen is the king of Bind. Like, on Bind, I would just recommend you to play Omen, maybe Raze as a secondary pick, and that's it, based on your statistics. Like, I don't know what you're doing on Bind, but you have my ranked playbook on Bind on my Discord server. Watch that. Try to abuse these strategies. We're gonna review your VOD today with Omen on Bind. And also, like, I share with you the exclusive coaching videos on Bind that also have some additional Omen strategies and tactics that are going to help you out. I don't know why you have, like, such a low win rate on Bind. On Sunset, fuck the Chamber for this silo, you know? Like on Sunset, roll with a Jet, Raze, Omen, or Reyna. I don't know. Like, Chamber is fine on Sunset. There's a lot of good strategies that you can use. But I feel for your current skill level and elo, it would be much easier for you to prioritize maybe Raze as a number 1 pick, number 2 pick Jet, number 3 pick Omen, and number 4 pick Reyna, if you really like playing Reyna that much. Anyways, Sunset is a deathmatch map. To be honest, you can play Reyna at the end of the day. Split Jet and Omen, literally, like, I wouldn't play anything else. Like, Jet, Omen, and maybe Raze. Fuck the Reyna on Split. Like, who plays Reyna on Split? Like, are you maniac? Breeze, stay away. Omen on Breeze is shit. If you already want to play some controller on Breeze, like, you need to learn how to play Viper. I would play Omen only as a secondary controller. And on Breeze, based on your statistical data and tracker, I would recommend you to Jet number 1 pick, Reyna number 2 pick, and maybe Chamber after you get to Immortal 1 levels. Lotus, anything can work, to be honest. Like all 5 agents that you're playing, Jet, Omen, Raze, Reyna, and Chamber are good on Lotus. But maybe for your elo, it is gonna be a bit easier for you to carry these matches with Raze and Jet. So maybe up to Immortal 1, I would recommend you to go with Raze and Jet. And then, like, after Immortal 1, you know, maybe touch a bit of Reyna, Chamber, Omen, etc., etc. Haven, I don't know what to tell you on Haven. Like, on Haven, I would personally play and abuse the Jet, Omen, and Raze. But with Reyna, you're performing really good. I mean, really good. Like, I mean, you're 3-1. It's not that much of a, you know, statistics and data, but oh, you can stick with this pool that you have right here. What is your guns? Oh, eco rounds are shit, man. What the fuck are you playing in eco rounds? Like, usually when I see this, my dude is probably playing in eco rounds like Ghost or Classic Pistol or some shit like that. I go second weapon, like. Go. How is the Ghost? How is the Ghost? You're playing Jet, Raze, Chamber, and Omen. And Ghost is your second most used weapon? How is that possible? Guardian third. With Vandal, you're definitely much better than with a Phantom. Stick to the Vandal. Where's the Shorty? Shorty, non-existencia. No, bro, like, always keep the Shorty as a secondary weapon. It is so easy to trade yourself, especially if you want to play Jet, Raze, Omen, or Reyna. Shorty can get you out of so many different scenarios, or at least trade yourself for a few kills. Stinger, up. Judge, up. Bulldog, up. Like, you need to become a bit more versatile player. This is exactly what I was speaking about today on my stream. Like, the more versatile you are, the better the better player you're going to become, and the better team player you're going to become. Like, a lot of times you will see when I'm doing these challenges, when I'm grinding to rank 1, etc., etc., like, a lot of times I drop the Vandal to my teammates in a bonus round, and I buy a Stinger and a Shorty. So, my teammate is not gonna be a potato playing a Sheriff. I know that I'm God with Stinger and Shorty, and I can just trade myself for maybe 1 or 2 kills at least. Win-win situation. Like, I always recommend to Valorant players, like, become a versatile player. Like, don't only stick to Guardian, to Vandal, Ghost, Phantom, Operator, like Marshall. You need to abuse everything in this game. On Bind, for an example, like Judge, you can win the whole defender side of Bind with Omen with a Judge. Stinger, the best eco and hull by weapon. Spectre is still good for anti-ecos. Bulldog, on some maps, the best anti-eco weapon. Guardian is fine, like, but I will play Guardian on Breeze and maybe Pearl and Icebox. On other maps, like, why the fuck would I play Guardian as an anti-eco and eco weapon? Shorty needs to be higher. Like, still, weapon is great. To trade yourself for the kills, like, I would not trade this weapon for any other weapon. Overall, not bad. I really feel that if you invest some time in this game, you have a potential to be a Radiant player one day. Like, with 52 hours and these statistics, and, you know, if you just improve your strategies, tactics, and probably your overall mindset in the game, like, you have a potential. And as I said, like, for now, if I was you, I would stick with Omen and Jett as my main characters, just to learn as much as possible from this game. Maybe playing Reyna as some secondary pick, and maybe playing Timber on a map like Breeze or Icebox or Pearl. And Raze is also good for you, like 100% win rate is really good. I don't know on which maps you have this win rate, but, you know, Raze on Lotus is Giga Chat Agent, Raze on Split, Raze on Bind, and so on. So yeah, not bad, not too shabby. Good, okay, let's see what he's doing. Is the VOD downloaded? Yes, it is. Let me open it up. VLC Media Player. And the VOD is stretched. Like it. Okay. Okay, stretched resolution. Sorry, guys. But anyways, this is going for the second YouTube channel. It's not going on main, so it's all good. Ubalababa. We don't need this. We don't need this anymore. We can start with the VOD. Bind Omensky. Radiant account is on. Notes are here. Let me go and bind. CHARLATAN, if you struggle to entry as Jett without flashes and initiator, is it better to go Omen or try to get better Jett? When you're playing Jett, when you're playing Jett in the lobbies below Immortal 3, you don't need to. You should never rely on your teammates to do some kind of a utility. Your teammates are always going to be stupid. So essentially, like, if you're not able to get an entry in the lobbies below Immortal 3 with a Jett, you're doing something bad. Like, you can improve something. You don't need, like, communication in lobbies below Immortal 3 is really hard. Like, players in Valorant have, like, 0% brain capacity, and even if you come some flash or something for your teammates to give you, it's gonna be shit. Every single play that you do should be constructed in a way where you are, like, relying only on yourself with your utility, dash, smoke, etc, etc. And your pathings are probably the problem, nothing else. Now, bind. Listen, on bind, where do we start? Is it the attacker or defender side? I don't have a sound. There it is. Good. Okay. I'm the beginning, I'm the end. Sorry guys, I'm a bit sick still, so my voice is, like, fucked up. Okay. Good. What the fuck was that, man? Wait. What? Is this an average Valorant lobby? Listen to this. Oh, yeah. This is gonna be a good one. Wait for it. Wait. 3, 2, 1. Fucking idiots, bro. Average. The most sane Valorant player. Okay. Listen. In the first round of every single match that you play, unless you're smurfing, you need to give some call out to your teammates, and you need to navigate your teammates in a certain direction. In the first round on the attacker's side, it is absolutely stupid to play some kind of a default, to split apart, to play passive, to play slow, to over-rotate. First round on the attacker's side, on every single map, should be a 5-man push towards one specific objective together with your teammates, because then you have the highest chances of winning that round, and playing on the refrag potential is the easiest in the first round. Now, on bind, how do you decide what to push in the first round? So, enemies right now have the Killjoy, KO, Reyna, Viper, and Raze. And you don't have the Sage. Generally speaking, when I don't have a Sage on Bind, in the first round, it is always the best idea to push the B site. Because ending on the A site without the Sage wall is hell of a time, and your teammates will be dying an enormous amount of time because they are trying to plant the spike, and we still didn't clear the site. So, essentially, like, on Bind, if you don't have a Sage, hit the B. If you have a Sage in the first round, go A. If you're hitting the B site in the first round with Omen, you want to go with a classic Light Shield, 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps, or with a Ghost, 2 smokes and 1 shrouded step. You're clearing the long area together with your teammates, ba 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 boo, ba 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 boo, clearing all of this, and you're giving your teammates a one-way smoke for the CT area there. You're doing a mid-air smoke that looks like this on the minimap for the elbow, and you're pulling out your TP and teleporting on that position as your smoke is going down and trying to kill the enemies on the site, or dropping down in the smoke and applying the pressure onto enemies. If you're pushing A site in the first round, classic Light Shield, 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps. At the beginning of the round, you do a smoke like that. Second smoke goes on top of the truck in the middle of this sloped area of the map there. And basically, you're pushing together with your allies. And we're pushing here, clearing all of these angles, all of these positions, picking up the shrouded steps, and you want to teleport up there on the truck. If you're missing this teleport, make sure to use the smart pings, drop down, clear the lamps, clear the front of the site, and that is how you should push in the first round with Omen. Generally speaking, when you're pushing A site, your primary focus is clearing this area of the map for your team, and then focusing on the rest of the map together with your teammates. If you're pushing the B site, there's no primary focuses, like you just try to outplay the enemy somehow and, you know, like play with your allies. Now, in this round, I would definitely call a 5-man push on B, push to the B long, clear the B long, and push the B side, because against this team composition, without the Sage wall, ending up on A side is going to be hell of a time. And also, like, this is terrible. Like, listen, I know this is gold. I know this is platinum. Maybe some of these players are diamond 1. I know that players in solo queue, they don't really like to listen. It's hard to communicate. It's impossible to communicate, basically. It's not worth it at the end of the day. But I feel that every single time I told my players in the first round to do something, they rolled with that information. Whenever I was smurfing, doing content, or I don't know, like doing some kind of a challenge, in these lobbies, when I tell my teammates, hey guys, let's push AS5, they do it. Usually in these lobbies, like, players are actually waiting for some kind of a call. Like, your strategies and tactics don't need to be in-depth. It's really hard to communicate some specific utility usage for your allies, but you should at least navigate them in a certain direction. You know, guys, let's go 5, A short, let's push A. Or, hey guys, let's push B, Sky and Jet, come with me. Be long, for an example. And that's it. That's the most communication you should give to your teammates. But here, splitting the map, taking the spike A short with a Jet, this is so stupid, man. Like, if I saw that my teammates are positioned like this at the start of the round, I would abandon this Jet, leave her completely, go with a Sky and Chamber, be long, and I would only be focused on the B push. You know, I would prioritize the higher group of teammates there. CHARLATAN, thank you all for the tip to upgrade my 60Hz monitor to 165Hz. It helps a lot. You're the best. I'm not the best. Like, generally speaking, like, equipment in FPS games means a lot. Like, basically, equipment is not gonna make you a better player, but it is going to unlock your full potential, and it's gonna push your skill ceiling higher. Essentially, like, you can improve better, more. Like, basically, if you reach Immortal 1 with 60 Hz, on 144 Hz, like, you're easily gonna go from Immortal 1 to, I don't know, Immortal 3, 300, 400 rank rating. Like, it's like you're playing a tennis with a baseball bat, you know? I went from gold 2 to platinum 2 in 4 days. Exactly.
Enemy spotted A. Reloading.
Okay, it's actually good that you teleported here. Like, I mean, this was an absolute suicide. You know, what you tried to do with the jet here. And this TP was actually a good idea. But we are playing this round so slow, man. This is terrible. Also, this was terrible, man. But bro, like, you know, when you're doing your smokes and utility with Omen, you really want to make sure that enemies cannot peek you, that angles in front of you are cleared, and that at least you have some kind of a teammate in front of yourself to essentially refrag you or to keep you alive. Here, you know, you cannot, like, you know, push out of the teleporter here and just be like, nobody's watching me from the hookah, from the window. We don't have that information. Like here, I would have first cleared the hookah from the teleporter, and then I would pull out the smoke and give the smoke to my teammates. But generally speaking, when you're doing the smokes on the B site, CT smoke you want to do when you or your teammates are crossing this position. You or your teammates. Elbow smoke you want to do when your teammates in long are here or your teammates in window are here. So these are the 3 positions from which we are doing the smokes. On these positions, we need to do the elbow smoke, and on this position, we need to do the CT smoke. So these are your timers for the smokes, essentially. Bring said, thank you all for the tier 1 sub, man. I didn't forget. I know we need to schedule you for coaching. We're gonna do that in 1 week from now. Thank you all for the sub, bro. Now, when you're playing Omen, you need to learn the one-way smokes. Like, essentially, this one-way for the CT is so important, and it is so fucking powerful. I don't see a single reason or scenario why you would use a regular smoke over this one-way smoke here. Like, either there on that angle, or this smoke here on this angle. Like, it is necessity. And also, when you're pushing the B set of bind, I heavily recommend you try to avoid in the full buy rounds, when you are full buy, and when you're playing the first round, try to avoid the hookah. Like, you never know when Charlatan is playing a classic pistol shorty strategy here, when the enemies are playing some shotgun setup here. There is no reason for you to go through the hookah in the first round. Basically, I don't like this area of the map, and this area of the map I would never touch in my life. Maybe if I'm eco and halbay, maybe if I'm playing some recon character, maybe if the callout is, hey guys, let's push 5 through the showers and wall this and plant the spike on A. Otherwise, leave the hookah, leave the showers to your teammates. Focus on long control and short control. And not only that, but you push here like there's no enemies at all. Like, how is this possible? How are you bro, like, we needed to clear the left angle. We needed to clear the right angle. Enemies can be anywhere. Like, how are you so confident that nobody's in the window? I don't like I don't like this push in the window at all. Like Giga Chat push, I must admit, but you have zero information. Zero info. If you have zero information, you behave like enemies can be anywhere. So, we're clearing the left side, we're clearing the right side, we're clearing this position here, and we're getting ready for the push. Now, when you have a jet in the team, and you're not using your smokes or utility users for some kind of an aggressive place, always abuse the jet smokes for your execute. And execute the bomb sites together with your jet. Here, when your jet did this, smoke and dash, your instant reaction time with Omen should have been to teleport inside of her smoke and peek the enemies from that jet smoke. Like when I'm playing with a jet in my team, especially in the high lobbies, like Radiant lobbies, I will usually act as an Omen support, and I will just follow up my jet pushes with my shrouded steps and engage the enemies like that. There's no reason for you to go by your feet and to die in the choke points or some shit like that. To die from the enemy's utility, essentially. Kilo, thank you all for the sub, and Elysium, thank you a lot, man. And also, like, you know, you're kind of playing the game like enemies don't exist. You know, like you're picking out the knife. Killjoy utility is active. She can be in the site. We didn't clear the site. Like, what's happening here? You know, we're pushing this unknown territory. Like, if I don't see enemies in this sector here, like basically, you didn't see any enemy here. Obviously, enemies are somewhere here. Like, how are we pulling out the knife? Focus more, like, on clearing the angles better. If you're pushing an unknown territory, behave like the enemies can be there, that enemies will be there, that enemies will fuck you there. Like, come on, bro, you know? Such a stupid round.
They don't buy in nothing, but they sell a classic.
Okay. Now, on bind, this is my recommendation for you. So, if you win the first round, call for the 5-man push through the B long. Whenever enemies are eco and hull by, I will completely avoid hookah and showers area of the map. You can live without them. And basically, in a second round on bind, if I win the first round, I either go with a shorty, stinger, heavy shield utility, a spectre heavy shield utility, or bulldog heavy shield utility. And if you're doing a 5-man push through long, smoke window, smoke CT into the one-way, flash the elbow, take the elbow control, take the side control, and that's it. And be aware that enemies can still be in the window. If you lose the first round, the easiest thing that you can do is take the lamps control and take the front side control of face side. Basically, the high skill potential on bind, in eco and halberd rounds, you actually have when you're pushing the A short area of the map. Especially when you're playing Omen. You can just buy a shorty, 1 or 2 shrouded steps, 2 smokes, do this smoke setup, push through the enemies. The enemies are gonna probably smoke you there anyways. Do the TP on the truck with a TP here, fuck up the enemies in the labs with a shorty, pick up their gun, and that's it. Or, instead of buying, you know, shorty, buy a paranoia, flash the enemies in the lamps, teleport in this corner, kill the enemies front side, lamps. This is the easiest territory to close the gap with the enemies and abuse the potential mistakes that enemies will make. Like in this round, pushing the hookah is not a good idea. Why? Because, you know, if I'm playing on this map on the B side, I'm probably gonna have a judge, and I'm gonna judge your anal cavity. Holy lolly, bro. Respect. Okay. Next round. Now, you know, when the enemies are bonus, you always behave towards the enemies like when the enemies are bonusing, it's like they're playing an eco hull by round. So basically, same as in you know, like when you win the first round and you're playing the second round, if the enemies are playing bonus eco rounds and hull by rounds, just please avoid the hookah and avoid the showers. Fight for the long, fight for the short. In this round again, the best call is a 5-man push through the B long, because enemies are playing a bonus round. But, you know, we can also push AS5. Just, if I'm pushing 5A in a round where the enemies are playing a bonus round or eco round, you need to enter the lamps with some kind of a pop flash with your teammates or with some kind of an outplay. Like, there is going to be one player with a judge here, 100%. Judge, stinger, short, or some shit like that. You need to be aware of that. Like, I will never pick the enemies in the lamps alone like this if I think the enemies might have a judge, shorty, or some kind of a close range weapon destroying my anal cavity in that segment. Now, please pay attention on the precision of your utility when you're playing Omen. Precision of utility is much more important than the speed of utility. Smokes that are misplaced will cost you enormous amount of rounds, and essentially, while you're in the learning process, focus on precision. Speed is gonna come over the time. That smoke there is terrible. And listen, when you're pushing the A site in eco, when the enemies are playing eco, hull by rounds or bonus rounds, so you're pushing A. Always expect the enemies to play around these stupid smokes. Like 24/7. There's gonna be someone playing inside of the Viper smoke, close to this box here. Clear it. You know, be aware of it, at least. Like maybe flash it, I don't know, like, but your crosshair should be here, not forward. And anyways, I would have just followed up the jet with a shrouded step. And also, nobody clear the angle on the left. Clear every single angle that you're approaching, even if your teammates are going in front of you. Like, even if my teammates do the recon utility, 10 of my teammates are pushing in front of me and clearing the angles. I don't trust them. Like, you cannot trust them. Clear the angles as if somebody can be there. It is better to be safe rather than being sorry. Here you needed to clear this smoke, like, with a gun out, like, literally. Viper with a judge can be there, for an example. It was not Viper with a judge, it was actually Reyna with a judge, and she fucked them up through the smoke. You need to, like, I don't know, this comes more with experience, definitely. You know, but these are very commonplace. Like, everything that we saw in the first 3 rounds is a common shit that happens in Valorant. And you need to be aware of it. Like, you need to actively think about it when you're playing these maps. Like, essentially, how do you improve this? Like, by VOD reviewing yourself, number 1. By watching as many games as you play. So how did I lose this round? Enemies love to play judge here, judge there. In the first round, I need to push, you know, B long, A short. I need to give some kind of a call out. Like, all of these mistakes are easily fixable. It's not something that requires years of practice. Like, you do one VOD review, and in the next time you play on bind on the attacker side, be ready for these stupid plays. Like, there's so many of these plays that you can do on bind. As you get punished, you need to teach your brain to think about it. Take a note. Take a visual note. Like, write down on a piece of paper, on a Word document, do this in a first round, do this in a second round, do this in a third round. When the enemies are equal, how by expect this, expect that. And when you're playing bind on the attacker side, open up that document on the second monitor, mobile phone, tablet, laptop. Read the notes as you're playing the game.
Spike down A.
Nice. Nice team, nice.
Nice team, nice. Oh. You know, after your team has died in this example, you needed to make some kind of a move. I don't know if enemies know about you. They probably know because Reyna pushed you. But basically, as that Reyna was fighting the breach, you should have been focused on killing the enemies on the site or enemies in the lamps. Like, in a 2v4 scenario, you need to risk some kind of a fights. You need to, you know, isolate the enemies in a 50-50 1v1s. And right now, you cannot play this passively. Like, you kind of got stunned.
Spike down A.
Especially when you saw that Reyna was on the top of the box on the minimap. You should have been fully focused on killing that Reyna and deleting her. I mean, the guy just has a judge.
Nice. Nice team, nice.
I can definitely say that the minimap awareness is definitely not your thing. By the way, everything in Valorant can be trained. Everything in Valorant can be improved. Even something like a map awareness. And maybe I'm gonna give you some kind of a training for some of these problems.
Last player standing.
And now what? Like, basically, you're waiting for the enemies to make some kind of a move, instead of you making a move. Like, when you're in the numbers disadvantage in such a shit position like this, like, you waited so much time that you allowed the enemies to pinch you in a 1 versus 4 scenario. Like, there was one guy on the site, I think that is a Viper, you should have killed that Viper. Then killing the Reyna. Then killing the KO, then killing the Killjoy. But you wasted so much time in one position that now you're playing aim labs, basically. And it's really hard to win this type of aim labs duel. Okay. Okay, holding this angle right now is actually not a bad idea. The reason for that is because enemy KO peeked this angle previously with a knife out. So maybe you get a kill. But economy management, 0 points. Like, first of all, in this round, this is a half by round. I don't know why you're forcing. Don't be mad. You know, like, you're playing Bind on the attacker side. Bind is a heavily defender-sided map. Like, if you lose 6 rounds in a row on attack or Bind, fine. You just need to win 3 rounds and you're winning a match on defense. Now, in this round, we need to hold by. I mean, we don't have enough money. Like, Breach doesn't have money. Sky doesn't have money. I don't know why we're forcing in this round, to be honest. But whatever. If your team has decided to force, what I would have bought in this round? Just a second to see how much money you have. So in this round, I would buy Vandal, Light Shield, and Dark Cover. That's it. I mean, you have everything to win a round. You don't need a fucking Paranoia. But Paranoia is fucking useless most of the times, especially now where the speed of the Paranoia is changed. Like, essentially, Paranoia is a hit or miss utility. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit. Like, you can never truly rely on the Paranoia. But on Vandal, Light Shield, and Smoke, you can always rely, you know?
About that Killjoy's tech.
Okay, not fresh.
Okay. Okay. Very good that you turn your focus towards the B long area of the map. Like, I mean, I wouldn't touch that hookah, basically. Like, essentially, there's so many reasons why I don't go hookah. Like, enemies can nade you, molotov you from the A side, fuck you up in the ass. Like, it's just stupid. Like, you can quite literally push B side every round only through the B long area of the map. As long as you smoke the window properly and you smoke the CT, and that's it. Okay, another advice that I need to give you. So when you're playing on slow rotation maps, so basically you're playing on the maps such as Bind, Haven, Icebox, Breeze, and Lotus. I mean, generally in Valorant, but especially on these 5 maps. Instead of rotating in these type of scenarios, so you're pushing B side right now, we're going changa, but our push got delayed, and the enemy stopped us. On Bind, it is 10 times better to cut the noise for 20 seconds and re-hit that same site rather than rotating through the TP and pushing A. The more rotations you do on the attacker side, especially without any information how many enemies are here and whether or not enemies have the space here and here, the less success you're going to find in ranked solo queue. Because you never know what type of a distance your teammates are going to keep between each other. You never know what type of utility usage your teammates are going to have. And you never know, basically, like, from which angles enemies are going to fuck you up at that moment of time. But when you're cutting the noise for 20 seconds, enemies might go for some kind of an undisciplined play. Maybe they're going to peek you, you're going to kill them, take the side for free. Enemies will maybe over-rotate from B side to A side. Like, the only time when rotations are good on the attacker side is if you think that enemies have somebody that loves to lurk and flank and to punish that guy. If you think that there's like 4 or 5 enemies already rotated on the B side, and when you think that and that's it, basically. When you have some kind of an information that enemies are looking and flanking, or they all rotated. Enemies are easy on the rotations, and that's it. But otherwise, it's just better to stay silent and reheat that same site again. Here again, like you cannot run with a knife out. Like, this is a huge problem for you. Like, you're kind of behaving towards these areas of the maps like, I know the enemies are not there. How do you know? I'm not a wizard. I don't know that. But basically, when you were going out of the teleporter here, enemies can be there, here, 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 this corner, here, anywhere. How do you know all of the enemies rotated? You cannot play with that pre-assumption. You need to play with the pre-assumption enemies can be anywhere at any moment of time. I need to clear every angle methodically so I don't die from some stupid position or angle as I'm pushing here. You were very late. You were extremely late for the smokes here. First of all, in this specific round, I would not have smoked... like, if you have one smoke, so you're playing bind, and you have one smoke, and you're pushing through the showers, you should always do this smoke here. To give yourself the cover from the backside, and to give your teammates the cover from the tower as well. And then, in combination with a flash, like this, you can easily teleport here, extend the range between you and your teammates, and now we can fight for the side control and methodically clear every angle one by one. I understand that this smoke provides you more cover, but also this smoke is very dangerous because enemies can, you know, you don't know if your teammates are going to be aware of potential enemies playing there. You don't know, like, how your teammates are going to play around that smoke. This smoke is not dangerous. Like, this smoke is fine. If enemies push through this smoke, they're dead. But enemies with this smoke can outplay you in so many different ways. So already here, I would have done the smoke for the backside, flash the backside, teleport in the corner, and that's it. Okay. I like your mechanics. Like, mechanically, you're fun to watch. Fun to watch, definitely. Like, okay. We know that one enemy TP'd. Okay, listen. Whenever you are in a 1 versus 2 scenario, basically, like, you have the information about one enemy. Try to isolate that enemy in a 1 versus 1 fight as soon as possible. Like, that is your best bet to win this round. Right now, if I was playing instead of him, I would flash the enemies. This enemy in the showers, teleport in that corner there, and try to kill whoever teleported as soon as possible. Because if this guy connects with the other guy that is coming from CT or short, you're dead like a potato with 52 HP. Oh, this is so bad. And now the guy from the CT can kill him. Oof, okay. Okay, this was a bit lucky, you know, like, you just got a better timings, like, essentially. The enemy, this raise could have already been CT as we were rotating into the lamps. I like that you push the showers. I liked it a lot, actually. Like, that was such a good game decision. But you should have teleported. You know, like, this flash that you did is gonna hit that killjoy 100% of times. 100%. And the TPing would be much smarter solution rather than going by your feet there, especially walking. Other than that, good clutch, but primarily you want it because enemies are doo-doo. Now, whenever you're losing the game on the attacker's side, because your teammates have no idea how to take the space control, your teammates have no idea how to push the bomb sites, you activate your aggressive mode with Omen. And for that, I heavily recommend you to take a look at my ranked playbooks on my Discord server. I covered so far 5 maps with Omen and all of his utility usage. And basically that is why you need to understand and to have enormous amount of aggressive plays that you love to do that are set in stone for you on each map. Like here, you're 1-3. Your teammates are shit in general. Like right now, I will be using all of my utility to not only support my teammates, but also to support myself. And I'm gonna be the first one going to the sites, fighting the enemies and so on.
Give them ground.
Generally, when you're playing Omen, also like when you're pushing towards the B site, one of the primary ways how you should be starting your rounds when you're going B is teleporting here and taking the B long control. As long as the enemies don't see this and you don't punish them from here, I will be doing this. Because, like, this is a very good way to clear B long, to surprise the enemies and delete them. Like, no one is ready with their crosshair placement for this. Everybody has a crosshair placement here or here. And it is so hard to do this upwards flick and to delete your head up there. By the way, when you're doing this teleport on the bench, on the fence, whatever, you just hug the wall here, hug the barrier, and aim in this little corner, in this little brick there. And that's it. Bam. You're gonna teleport 10 out of 10 times. But this is also very good, very good play. This gives me some hope that you're actually using your brain and that you're actually thinking about the enemies. Because this KO was doing this 24/7. And it was so easy to punish this KO like this. Very good play. I like this a lot. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. But the only thing that I would have done differently here is after getting that kill, I would have skippity-dip-dap-dap fucked away and focused on the B long and executing the B step from B long. And that's it. Listen, when something like this happens for you, like two groups of the teammates are fighting the enemies somewhere. Always prioritize the teammates that are doing something useful for you and that have the highest chances of dying. Who is that right now? Is it Chamber and Breach or Jet? Obviously Jet. You're getting pinched from the teleporter. Your Jet is pushing the site. You don't give a shit about your teammates that are stuck in the hookah. They're passive potatoes. They're probably gonna get in a fight with this Reyna that is pushing from behind. I don't give a shit about them. Like, if my Jet dies, I won't have a side control. But if I take a side control with Jet, then it's gonna be 10 times easier for me to support my teammates in the window and to hold the window afterwards. But if the Jet dies and the enemies fully pinch us in the hookah and 3 of us are stuck hookah, we're gonna be in a lot of fucking shit and trouble. Like, essentially, in a game of Valorant, one rule that you follow 24/7 is like, you're always trying to support the teammates that are most aggressive, that have the highest chances of dying, and that are doing something useful for you. And teammates that are doing something useful for you are usually the teammates that are trying to open the site at that moment of time. Now, your smokes are terrible. Like, your smoke usage is like 0 points. Basically, like, this smoke is way too shallow. This smoke here on the city is also shit and way too shallow. Did you even do the smoke? No, that is just smoke, sorry. Like, you don't even have that city smoke. What the fuck is going on? Like, if you're not doing anything useful, like, do the smokes. I don't know how we are pushing the site and you don't have a smokes. Like, when you kill that KO here, and he is like, got away, like, his suppression got away. You should have instantly one-way the CT from this position, or just do the regular smoke. Elbow smoke, flash the enemies on site, and push with a Jet. Take the side control, and then, after you take a side control, focus on window. Precision with the Omen smokes is very important. So you're not giving enemies additional space, gaps, and angles from which they can fuck you up. Like, for example, this smoke is terrible. Why? Because now, not only that I need to worry about the enemy peeking me from here and here, but also the fucking enemy can pop flash me and peek me from this angle and kill me. Instead of, you know, just doing a smoke like this, and now my crosshair should just be in this range here. It's much easier for me to micro adjust myself, to get ready for the fight, and so on.
One enemy
No, he died again from the nanostorms.
Ay, perdón,
Now, this is another tip that I would give you. When I'm playing Omen, generally speaking, if I'm pushing through the choke points, and there is still a chance for me to die as I'm pushing through that choke point, use your shrouded steps to connect with your teammates. In this example, use the shrouded step on the site and connect with the jet. And don't risk some kind of a death from the elbow peak or from the peak in the CT. You know, use the TP in this corner, enter the site, dodge all of the enemy's utility, random peaks, random spam, random shit, and that's it. Like, for example, on Ascent, you know, even I'm playing Ascent and my teammates are pushing A. I'm doing default smoke setup, doing the flash from here. Even if my jet is already here with a smoke and she killed one enemy on the site, I'm still gonna teleport in this corner here and try to close the gap with my jet, and in the same time safely cross this position without dying from some nanoswarms, cipher tripwires, shock darts, random spam through this smoke to this angle, random spam from this smoke to this angle, and you get a point. The more you minimize the factor of luck and timings during your gameplay, is better for you. And this is how you reduce that factor of luck and timings. You actually died from the elbow, not from the nanoswarms. Yeah. Oh, little lolly, man, like your smokes, like, check the videos. Check the videos that I share with you, like, on Bind. Try to replicate the smoke setups that I've explained in the videos. And also on my Discord server, for the next 1 month, you have the access to the ranked playbook. Check the smoke setups, default smoke setups, like, this is terrible, man, like, not good. Not good at all. Essentially, like, when you're executing the A site of Bind, you should always use this as your default smoke setup. And then you are slowly changing your setup based on what you see from the enemies. But also, like, in the first 5 rounds, I must say that your teammates are terrible. Like, their pushes are horrific. And that's why I would be using this setup as well, because this setup allows you to do so many aggressive plays. Like, basically, you can flash the enemies here, teleport there. You can flash the enemies in the lamps and teleport here while using the TP. You can use this flash, teleport in the smoke, down there, and then clear the front site. You can use this flash and teleport there, clear the lamps and clear the front site. You can use a mid-air smoke here, flash the enemies here, teleport there, smoke is going down, clear this position, clear the backside. Like you have 7, 8, 9, 10 different aggressive plays that you can do on Bind. You can flash the enemies here, clear this position, teleport there, and from above the smokes, you can kill the enemies at the backside, tower, and here. So yeah. Whenever you notice that your teammates are shit on the attack, when it comes to taking the space and map control, rely on the aggressive plays. Aggressive executes.
Enemy spotted A.
But the only objection that I have here is, like, you know, B side push was kind of easy, much easier than the A push, number 1. Number 2, I said, like, usually on Bind, if the enemies are equal in hull by, on a defender side, your best bet to win that round is pushing B long, S5, in these lobbies. Simple call out, you know, hey guys, let's push B S5, I'm gonna smoke the window, smoke the CT, flash the elbow, and that's it. The more you complicate stuff in this elo, you know, platinum, diamond, ascendant, gold, silver, like, the more problems you're gonna have. And I really hope that you learned from the previous, like, mistake. Like, right now, if Reyna is not in this smoke with her judge, I'm gonna eat my cock immediately on the stream live. Not even in game. Okay, this TP is good. This TP is good. this is generally the best position to teleport with Omen on bind, but when you're doing this TP, it's always better to do it at the start of the round for the outplay mechanic. Like basically you do a one-way smoke here, you do a smoke here, flash for your teammates in the window, and then teleport in that corner. When you TP in this corner, the sound of the teleport is identical as you teleport into the elbow. So the enemies on the site might think that you teleport into the elbow, they're gonna go out of the site, or they're gonna stay in the site, disregarding an option that you're there. Now, this TP is... The problem of this teleport is only that it is like... stupid for this round, number one, because enemies are equal in hull buy. Why would you disconnect yourself from your teammates if the enemies are already in some kind of a disadvantage? Number one. Number two, you have a spike. You're like, if you commit to this teleport and die, GG to this round. Number three, it would have been 10 times better in this type of round to prioritize team play and playing together, rather than now maybe your teammates are going to die from some kind of a lurk and flank from the B side. What then? If you are there with them, maybe you're going to clear some angles that they're not going to clear, and we're going to live a happy life. You see, like, this doesn't tell you anything. This killjoy can be quite literally looking at the chamber's anal cavity right now, penetrating him, and killing all of these guys there. And, bro, am I a wizard today? So, 3-4 reasons why I wouldn't go for this teleport in this round. Reason number one, enemies are equal in hull buy. It is better to play as 5, focus on team play. Your teammates will be dying from this type of close range weapons and in this type of way enormous amount of time. Number two, enemies are probably going to go for some kind of a lurks and flanks. They're going to feel, a bit more aggressive in these rounds. And your teammates are going to die like this. Essentially, if the enemies are already in an economy disadvantage, play with the team. Play on the reframe potential, and that's it. And also, planting the spike in this angle here is terrible. Like, I mean, right now, even if you plant the spike and you die, the round is over. In this example, when you got stuck in that corner, and Viper went out, you should have used the flash to engage that Viper. Like, basically, that Viper was not peeking you. You had a time to pop flash her with a paranoia. Like, taking that fight was so risky. I mean, if you lost the life there, this round was over. And these are exactly the scenarios why I recommend you to use the shorty as a secondary weapon. Right now, even with 20 HP, around your smokes, it is so easy to trade yourself for a few kills. Like, right now, both enemies are, pushing you from the hookah. We can use a smoke, play around the smoke, kill one enemy with a shorty, get away with the shrouded steps, kill the second enemy with a paranoia, and that's it. Oi, man. Like, Killjoy utility is now active. We are fucked. Ah! I knew it. He's gonna die from the bot. Okay. I mean, it really doesn't matter what happened at the end of the round. Like, that teleport decision was not good because of the enemy's economy. To be fair, when the enemy race has the ultimate on bind on the defender's side, expect some kind of an aggro play with a ultimate in A short. Play this a bit slower. Okay. But why is your second smoke has so much latency? Like your smokes are very delayed. You need to put some time practicing the smoke setups and watching the smoke setups in the ranked playbook and just repeating them in a custom server. Like, there's way too much latency. Like, if my jet is going in front of me, you know, as soon as, if the call out is, hey guys, let's push A. Okay? We're pushing A. Fuck it. I'm gonna use the first smoke as soon as the round starts from this position. Second smoke, I'm gonna use here. My jet is there. That's it. I'm out. What rank is he? Platinum 2. Don't smoke the tower. Tower smoke is meaningless. Basically, tower smoke is the worst smoke you can do, like in Valorant. And if you're already smoking the tower, you need to smoke it in a one-way. Basically, tower smoke has zero purpose and zero meaning. And if you're already doing this smoke, you need to position it basically up there. This one way is actually really easy if you're not close to this angle, but I don't know, like... So basically here. Like, doing a regular smoke is just shit. Okay. I like that you had a confidence to go for the push there. Not bad, not bad. And this is just a clean aim diff, aim do, like nothing to talk about. Peeker's advantage. What I genuinely don't like in your Omen gameplay is that you really don't have a single setup or a single aggro execute, single way to follow up your teammates on site and outplay the enemies. Like, every single fight that you take is a 50-50 fight. I mean, how you're playing Omen, you're playing Omen like Reyna, and that's the problem. Omen is not Reyna. Like, on Omen, the more you rely on your utility users to create a space and to outplay the enemies, it's better for you. So what my number one recommendation for you would be to watch the ranked playbook and the videos that you have on my Discord server and try to apply that type of a gameplay. Especially in these matches, like, your teammates are shit when it comes to taking the space and map control. May I only ask one thing? Why are you saving so much money in this round? This is poor economy management. Like, essentially in Valorant, unless you want to buy the operator, you're investing all of the credits that you're not going to use in the next round. So basically, in this round, just a second. In this round, I will be buying a light shield, shorty, smoke, and trying to aggress the enemies with some aggressive play with the shorty and try to kill them. Sheriff, with utility. I don't know, like Stinger, light shield, and trying to go into the face of the enemies and outplay them. I would not be playing a classic pistol without anything. You have money, you have like, I think, 5,000 credits in the next round, or something like that, like 5,400. Okay. Okay. I really need to recommend you, like, focus more on B long and fuck the hookah. You don't need it. Like, only punish enemies in hookah if you already have an idea how to punish them, or what, you know, you have some kind of a play in mind. Yo, baby, how you doing? I'm sick as fuck. Ay. Listen, also, when you're in this learning process of learning the Omen, when you're positioning the default smokes, also pay attention on the minimap. Like, on the minimap, you will always see how the smoke is gonna deploy once you actually, you know, deploy it. Like, basically, because I see a lot of players, they're using the smokes mid-air, and then they do some kind of a shit smokes like this. Bro, the smoke is crap, for an example. Like, when I'm doing the smokes, I always pay attention, like, I do them always a bit lower to the ground like this, but at the end of the day, just look at the minimap, or up here, and just pay attention on how that smoke will look like once it deploys. So it doesn't have any gaps or any additional space for the enemies.
Okay, rotate.
Ooh, once again, you're pushing very carelessly. So, first of all, this rotation call here is actually good. Personally, in every single lobby below Immortal 3 and Radiant, if enemy Viper does the ultimate on the site, I'm not hitting that site. I would rather fight 4 enemies on the B site right now, rather than fighting enemy Viper around the ultimate in a Platinum lobby. Your teammates have no idea how to clear this ultimate. They don't have a good enough game sense to understand where the Viper can, where the enemy Viper can be at every moment of time. So, decision to rotate, good. But I don't like why you're pushing out with your knife and behaving towards the angles like no one can be there. How is that possible? Like here you're with a knife out. Enemy can be with a judge on the right side.
Hey, rotate.
Here with a knife out. Enemy killjoy pushed in the previous round. Kia was always pushing the window. Enemy killjoy could have been here. Enemy killjoy can be here, 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 on the site, anywhere. How are you pushing with that? Like, do you have a wall hex? Like, I don't know. But aim is there. Like, that is your problem. Like, your brain is shrinking and aim is good. But that's gonna be a huge problem for you, like, once you get to Immortal lobbies. Like, in Immortal Elo, I feel you're gonna be hard stuck there for a very long period of time if you don't start thinking more in this way that I'm trying to teach you. And that is why I will heavily recommend you, if you can force yourself to reach Immortal 1 with Jet and Omen, it would be great. And just staying away from Reyna and Chamber for now. Like, yes, your aim is fine, good, but I feel that Reyna and Chamber will not teach you anything about this game that Omen and Jet will.
Smoke open.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, Jet.
Flawless.
Okay. Good discipline there to wait for the rest of the team. Turkish? I don't know if this is Turkish. Ay. But this is actually a really good information that you got right now. I mean, right now, if you lose this round, punishing that operator in long is so easy with Omen. I mean, I never died in my life by teleporting here, and I always punish this op player. It is so easy to get a kill there with this teleport.
Ah, vale, cuidado. Yo no lo... No.
Okay. Skin Hunter, true. Listen, another tip that I need to give you. On Bind, if your teammates are pushing the B site, as soon as when you have the ultimate at the start of the round, go for the aggressive play from the playbook. Like, in your elo, 9 out of 10 times it's gonna work. Like, basically, do a one-way here, do this smoke here, and just teleport in this corner. 9 out of 10 times. Enemies will always think you teleported in elbow. They're gonna pull back from long into the elbow, and that's it.
Puedes ir ahora, creo,
Reloading.
Son fake.
Que no me tiene ulti, ahora que lo pienso.
Yo tengo la mía
Una
para...
larga. Creo que hay 3 por aquí.
Healing over here.
Cuidado con el Raze.
España.
La Killjoy tiene un operator. Es una
La
puta.
Killjoy tiene...
No voy a salir.
Sí.
Long, uno long.
Sí, señores.
TP.
Años.
But finally, man. Finally, my dude turned on the brain and started clearing the angles. Liked it. Love it a lot.
Heal up.
Entra a ver si os puedo ir por
30
CT.
seconds left.
Showers.
But now he turns off the brain. Listen. if you didn't clear the full site, and if you didn't clear the full site, and enemies can be showers, site, tower, lamps, smoke yourself and plant the spike in the smoke. It's better rather than planting the spike in an open area of the map like this. I mean, right now, God helps you. Generally speaking, in ranked solo queue, leave the job of planting the spike and defusing the spike in the hand of your teammates. The more time you have the gun in your hands, it's better for you. Because this guy is not gonna support you at all. And that's exactly what happens.
Team. What?
But you should have done the smoke on site and planted in the smoke. Like, that plant was way too dangerous. Without the backside control, without the lamps control, without the showers control, like, you needed to play around the smoke. Like, in this round, what I would have done, I would have basically done a smoke here, like this. Plant the spike here. And then I would instantly get in the smoke and try to outplay the enemies around my smoke and try to maybe clear the showers or something like that.
Aquí yo siempre se mete aquí.
Medio eres que le quiero un picuta. Now, learn from the previous rounds. Your teammates on long died from the killjoy that has the operator. Teleport to the bench, kill the killjoy, and that's it. Or maybe, you know, do the flash on the long, because if your teammates die from the killjoy with operator again on long, I'm gonna cut off my penis again and eat it alive. I don't know if my penis is alive.
Ahí juca.
Yo que largaste a mi padre,
Good night, Natsumi, man. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Generally speaking, you know, when you're playing Omen on Bind, like, your primary focus 90% of times should be doing a paranoia from here once your teammates are here and fucking away towards the long. And that's it. Like, 90% of times. Like, there's nothing else that you need to do, essentially. Flash the hookah, go to the long, take the long and guard and control, execute the site. That's it. I don't know why you're forcing yourself so much to go in the window.
The half.
Sí,
voy
además
a
entre
ver
el
si
portal
me
ha
cargo la
puesto
arena
como
que
para
no me a baños.
Easy wrong.
Estás tuneada,
En el shower, sí.
Listen, when the round is starting, if your teammates don't push this angle immediately here, and then don't check that position. So if you're pushing only from here, an enemy has always the time to get there. Like, when you're pushing through the short, you always need to check that angle. And as I said previously, like, in a rounds where the enemies are eco halby or something, generally, you know, when you see this type of a smoke, you need to push through the smoke with a gun out, and you need to be aware of enemies playing in the smoke. Once again, I don't know, I kind of smell, you know, that Viper, she didn't clean herself for a long time, man.
No, no puedo entrar solo con la
Or maybe Reina. Somebody smells in the smoke. Someone.
Hay gente en eco.
I mean, that paranoia there was a pure waste. I mean, if you're already not gonna push or do some kind of an aggro play, like, what the fuck, you know?
están haciendo eco.
Holy luli chamber.
Gente en eco, no todos.
No, pero por eso, mejor.
Hermano,
Hermano!
Ten cuidado, va.
Oh. Okay. Generally speaking, like, one thing that I'm really satisfied with is I didn't give you so many negative points when it comes to your raw game mechanics. You know? Like, so essentially, like, your raw game mechanics are okay. Reaction time is not the best. Micro adjustments are not the best, but it's there. You know, it's not like I'm watching a platinum or gold player. I would rate you on mechanical level more as an average Hearthstone Ascendant player. Or maybe, yeah, Ascendant, basically. But when it comes to utility usage, team play mindset, like, you are Platinum. And game decisions. Game decisions from you are terrible. Like, essentially, this is something... This is something that you should never do in a game of Valorant. Whenever you want to spam some smoke or some angle, never spam that smoke or angle if you're closer to that angle than enemies. Because then it's gonna be easier for enemies to find your body and head than for you to find the enemies. Like basically here, you know, smoke looks like this. You want to kill the enemy that is backside, and you're doing this. That enemy can be anywhere. You don't know where the fuck you're shooting. You need to be so precise in order to hit the enemy here. It's impossible. While the enemy that is playing here or on tower, you're only there. I can even spray you. I don't need to tap to kill you there. Generally, I'm never spraying through the smokes or spraying to the walls if the distance between me, wall, and the enemies is not equal, or, you know, I have a greater distance than enemies. Papito, my keybind on C, shrouding step was not working for some reason. That explains that you're not teleporting anywhere. Now, on a bind, the defender side, basically, like, the story is very simple. B site is your default bomb site and highest priority. And in the first round, essentially, like, I would always do a classic pistol shorty strategy with Omen, and I don't give a fuck if I'm playing with Jesus Christ, with Demon 1, Tens, whoever. Like, classic shorty light shield and one shrouded step. We're starting the round here, round starts, we pick up the shorty, we're waiting for the enemies to push. Enemies are making the footsteps, or based on timing, we think enemies are gonna push, we deploy the smoke that looks like this. Playing around the smoke, dodging the enemy's utility, fucking up one enemy, getting the fuck out, and going onto the site. Enemies are pushing A site, I'm not gonna use a smoke here, I'm gonna give my teammates a smoke there, on that edge of the box, like that. And I'm taking the classic pistol and rotating to A site. What the fuck is this, bro? What the fuck am I watching? Oh no, fuck you. This is some new technology, bro. New tech. New mechanics. No. I see a few problems in this plan. First problem is, what if enemies spray you now through the smoke? Your head is gonna stick out through the fucking one way. Second problem is, like, what if the Raze does a boombot? How do you plan to, like, escape this smoke, you know? Ay. He gets the kill, bro. I like it. That was fucked up. But this smoke is bad for so many reasons. Like, if the enemy spray, you know, you should be dead. Boombot, you should be dead. Number 3, when you get a kill, where the fuck do you go? You know? What do you do after you get a kill with a shorty there? How do you escape that position? There's no escape route. And that's why I use these cubby smokes, you know, like, after getting a kill, it is so first, you know, here it is so easy to dodge the enemy's utility, to dodge the enemy's random spam, to kill the enemies in the smoke, and then after you get a kill, you pick up the classic, whoop, you're out. You're 4 versus 4, 5 versus 4, made numbers advantage, and that's it. Also, when you're playing classic pistol shorty strategy with Omen, always buy classic shorty light shield and one shrouded step with a shorty. So basically, you're never buying paranoia. Paranoia is shit. Just remember that. Like, it is hit or miss ability. It's good. It's not shit, but it's stupid to buy it in the first round. Indra Day, take a look for the tier 1 sub. Much love. I don't know how you survived this, to be honest. Like, it was such a fucked up play. You know, this play that you did here, is okay. It's interesting. You know, I'm gonna give you 8 out of 10 points for creativity. And that type of play, maybe I'm gonna use in eco rounds and half buy rounds. You know, when I'm already in economy disadvantage to fuck up the enemies and that's it. But in the first round, or God forbid if I'm full buy.
Me quedo por acá, vamos por Rotan. Estoy en la esquina más guarra posible. Vienen para acá,
By the way, good repositioning here with the paranoia. I liked it a lot. Not bad. Let me see about this one more time. To be honest, like, you know, if you already have a shrouded steps, it would have been much better if you just repositioned with the shrouded steps. And another thing that I need to recommend you is in these lobbies, it is extremely easy to play with the enemy's mind when it comes to doing a fake repositionings. You know, if the enemies are there and you just do this, GG. There's absolutely, like, if they clear you after doing that in platinum, gold, and diamond, I don't know, man. Like they are Spider-Man basically. Like their senses are tingling. Like doing the fake shrouded steps is so easy. Like in these lobbies for free kills. I started to watch you 2 or 3 weeks again. Try to be an Omen. You're my guy to learn from. Much love, baby. Okay, that kill on the raise was good. Like whatever you triple shot RNG.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
You see, enemies made the same mistake that you made in the first round. They play default. In the first round on the attacker side, you never play default, bro. 5-man push somewhere. Call it. Guys, let's push, I don't know, 5-man B, 5-man A. Fuck it. Why are you splitting apart? Now, in this 1 versus 2 scenario, just play together, play on the refrag potential, and that's it. I mean, obviously, Breach is watching that angle, you're watching this one, and I don't know, there's no losing this. Also, on this position, you have a one-way smoke that you can use to, you know, completely stop the Killjoy and fuck her up, but, you know, I don't expect you to know this one way. Basically, up here on this green triangle, you can put a one-way smoke and the spike is there, and you can play on top of the bench and just shit, you know, whatever. You don't need to complicate it. You can just one-tap, you know, the guy. In a second round of bind, if you buy a Marshall, you are a maniac. Especially with Omen. Like, in anti-eco rounds on this map, Judge is your best friend. I mean, quite honestly, in the lobbies below Immortal 1, you can use the Judge in every fucking round on a defender side of bind. Judge with a Sheriff. You'll win more than if you're using, I don't know, like Vandal or Phantom, basically. There's so many plays, so many positions where you can close the gap with the enemies and just shit on them with zero aiming skill. Like, shotguns, close range weapons, and operator should be the main weapons that you use on this map. It is so easy to punish the enemies with op when they have bad pathings, bad utility users to enter the sites and choke points, and it is so easy to punish them with a close range weapon such as Shorty, Stinger, Bucky, and Judge. Hawk out! I don't know, I would have never done this in my life. Like, it's okay that he's playing B this round. I mean, in this, like, when you win the first round, in the second round, you never know, like, what enemies are gonna do. Like, B is your default site, and it's okay that you're playing B. But I would have just picked up the Judge, played in the hookah again with the Judge, and just shit on the enemies, and that's it. Also, starting from the second round, you can instantly start selling this smoke to the enemies. Like, basically, in a second round, I love to use this smoke at the start of the round immediately, no matter what where I'm playing at that moment of time, whether I'm playing A or B. And then, if the enemies in the second round see this smoke, In the third round, when I'm playing bonus, I can use this smoke to outmaneuver the enemies and fuck them up here. Because in 1 or 2 rounds, if they see this smoke as a default one way to stop their push, they're never gonna expect you to push here. And they don't see your legs as you're wrapping around this corner. If this place works in Radiant lobby, it's gonna work in here as well. And also, I don't like how passively you played in this round. Like basically, if I'm already playing Marshall in a second round, for some reason, I have no idea what would I play. No, another mistake, listen. In a second round, buy the heavy shield always. Like whenever enemies are eco, half buy. Heavy shield is always your highest priority. And you don't want to die from, you know, like some stupid headshot and body shot from the classic pistol. I don't know, like heavy shield, guns utility. Done. Now, if you already bought the Marshall and decided to play a Marshall, but you cannot start your round by playing at the back of the site. The more angles you abuse to fight the enemies in incremental fights, it is better for you. The more damage you apply to the enemies, it's going to be easier for you to finish the enemies and also for your teammates to finish off the enemies. This is the position where I would start. Holding this tight angle as much as your reaction time allows you. Personally, I can hold this angle like this and still get a kill. I'll hold this angle, then I'll hold this position, drop down after the shot, then I'm gonna do the smoke there, and then reposition here. Enemies are going out, another kill, I'm dropping down, using a paranoia, another kill, and that's it. What about Vandal Light Shield? I would buy Light Shield in a full buy round only if I need to purchase some very important utility for me during that round to do some kind of a play. I wouldn't follow the Light Shield meta of pro players in my dreams, basically. When it comes to ranked solo queue, it is absolutely stupid and retarded. Like, the only elo where Light Shield meta maybe makes some kind of a sense is like high Radiant lobbies. Other than that, just buy the fucking shield, buy the gun, purchase the utility that you need, and that's it. Yeah, sure, like, I mean, you got these skills, but let's be honest, it would have been 10 times easier to fuck up the enemies here if you just played a judge in the hookah and just mow them down and that's it, like, I mean, whatever. And save the gun for the bonus round. Okay.
Smokes aquí. Gente aquí.
Pistoneo,
Listen, when you're doing a smoke for the A site, always, this is your default smoke for the short. Back on the right side edge of the smoke. Box, sorry. So your default smoke goes here. And this is the best smoke that you can give yourself and your teammates for the A short. It creates a slight one way that we can use to fuck up the enemies there. Enemies that are on here, they cannot basically like see us and see your teammates. And also, if the enemies are dropping from this smoke, I mean, they're in a huge disadvantage. If your teammates don't kill them while they're in the air, I mean, your teammates deserve to die.
Follan.
Pronto para.
How the fuck the bridge got knifed in the B short?
Chavales, acabo de descubrir una cosa. La Killjoy no tiene vida social.
Todavía lo descubres ahora haciendo uno que yo. Reis baños.
Once again, listen, when you're rotating from B side to A side, and you have a long range weapon such as Vandal, if enemies still didn't plant the spike, always prioritize going from onto the tower. I mean, from the tower you could have easily supported that jet, and with the long range weapons, I'm always gonna go for this, and I'm gonna try to fight the enemies here, there. A lot of the players, they love to play that off angle. The amount of kills I get there is insane, because, you know, enemies are like, it's a good off angle, blah blah blah. I'm a Radiant player. I know you're there. Like, or at least, you know, jump spot the enemies and then try to fight the enemies. The only time I prioritize going through the lamps when I'm retaking the A set of bind is if I have some kind of a close range weapon. Like in this round, if I had a judge, of course I would be going lamps, clearing this angle, clearing that angle, jumping towards the enemies and clearing these positions, clearing this, Jump spotting enemies here. Aha, enemies there. Ba ba ba. Enemies are there. No problem. We can do a smoke here. Now enter the smoke. Enemy is still there. I can flash the enemies on short. And then ba 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 bam. You get a point. You are starting your rounds way too passively. That doesn't mean that I want you to fight the enemies 24/7 and hold some 50-50 angles. But bro, like, don't sell to the enemies all of this space. You know, here and here. Pick some small incremental fights. You know, like you have a guardian. Let's try to hold at least this angle here, you know, like this. Let's maybe try to hold this position, take one shot, get back. Allow yourself to have any chances of killing the enemies and stopping the enemies' push before they take the space here. You're in the long. At least jump spot the enemies for the information. So that enemies don't walk to this position and then execute the site as 5 and your teammates are still sitting at the A side here and here. I don't know. Hold an angle like this. Try to get a kill, get the fuck out. Then hold an angle like this. Try to get a kill, get the fuck out. Like, how are you starting your round there? And on bind, my dude is playing Guardian. What are you psychopath, bro? Like, quite literally, like, in this elo, I promise you, man, like, simplify your gameplay. Buy that judge with a sheriff heavy shield and fuck these bitches up. Buy that operator abuse, like, all of these great off angles and positions and pixel angles. Get the kills with a shorty, like. How do you prioritize the Vandal over the judge and sheriff? Combo. Yikes. That smoke is not really the best.
No, no te juegues porque están todos. Vas a morir.
Now listen, on bind, your rotations need to be slow. That's why I call this map a slow rotation map. Essentially, on bind, you want to rotate only when the enemies either are killing your teammates or they take some very meaningful space from your teammates. What does that mean for you? So on bind, if I'm playing B site and my teammates are getting some contact on A, when am I going to rotate? I'm going to rotate if I see that enemies are in this area right here, or I see that enemies are getting out of this position here. Or if one of my teammates dies on the A side, on some kind of an off angle or common position, I'm gonna rotate. But if my jet is here, my chamber has a trademark here, nobody is dying, I'm staying on B. I'm chilling until something happens and I get a better information for myself.
No, no te juegues porque están todos. Vas a morir.
¿Están entrando ya? Vale, voy ahora.
Sí, han entrado ya.
This is a really good flash to support your breach. I like it.
Vale, me acaba de matar flasheado corriendo. Me encanta.
Spike plant.
Extremely bad teleport. Why is this TP bad? Number one reason why this teleport is bad, your jet is fighting. Your jet is already on site. Like, by the time you complete this teleport and you're ready to fight the enemies, both your jet and chamber are gonna be dead. And anyways, maybe one enemy is in garden, waiting for you around the corner to teleport, and he's gonna kill you in the head. You have zero information there. Muy madre is calling me. Just a second. I need to tell her I'm coaching. I'm coaching, bro. Bro! Okay. Sexy motherfucker. Fat American, welcome to you, man.
Me encanta el smoke.
Essentially, that is another, you know, that is one thing that we discussed on the attacker side. What you need to focus more in your gameplay is just fighting the fights that your teammates are fighting at that moment of time, instead of using utility or, I don't know, like watching the flanks, lurks and shit like that. Like, you need to distinct a bit better. Like, my jet is dashing in. She's fighting the enemies on site. She's there. I need to support her. Now the chamber can die. We're split apart. Nice kill. That smoke there that you did on the site. Okay, but generally speaking, like, when you're in the numbers disadvantage, and the spike is planted on the retake, you want to save the smoke for a spike defusal. You see, here, having that smoke on top of the spike would be muy bien. Generally speaking, like, if I'm in a 1 versus 1 scenario, if I'm in some kind of an economy disadvantage, number disadvantage, and I have a smoke and I'm retaking the sites, I'm always prioritizing using my smokes for the spike defusal. Just smoking the spike and defusing it.
Last player standing.
If you had a smoke there, easy. Nah, my dude is playing... Are you joking with me? My dude is playing Spectre instead of the Judge now. Interesting, like, gun choices on the map. Like, on some maps, like, just some weapons are far better than other weapons. And it is what it is. Like, basically, like, there are some weapons that are overpowered on Split, on Breeze, like, for example, on Breeze, obviously, you need to learn how to play Operator and just demolish the enemies with Operator. On Bind, like, you know, give me that Stinger, give me that Shorty, give me that Bucky, Judge, like, simplify your gameplay.
Shadows traveling.
Imagine if you had a Judge right now. Easy kills. I mean, that is also easy kill because that raises... Her satchels look kind of like mine. The fuck this guy did. Okay, okay. I mean, you didn't know that the Viper is there. I probably would have also went for the gun. So I cannot blame you, to be honest. That Viper was kind of walking from A short all the way up to this point. Thinking that 5 was okay. Trust me, instead of doing this play, 10 times better play is the one-way play that I've explained in my playbook here. Around the smoke, wrapping the enemies, killing the guy that is getting in the smoke, getting the fuck out. Or, basically, in equal halberd rounds, if you hear the enemies there, try to kill as many enemies as possible and potentially survive. Or simply just play around, you know, cubby position smoke like this and like this. Not your best!
Down A.
That smoke for A short is terrible, and I already explained what is the default smoke. When you have numbers advantage, I heavily recommend you don't go for the flanks and lurks. Please prioritize playing with your teammates. Go connect with the chamber and sky as soon as possible because they're gonna sell the numbers advantage immediately. Or maybe just focus on playing with Jet because she's also alone and preserve the numbers. Right now, going for this play, you know, I'm not really scared what you are gonna do. I'm very scared what chamber and sky are gonna do. And they are dying. Is it okay to lurk with Omen on attack if there is no better lurking agent? The only time when you should be lurking in with any agent in Valorant is when nothing else is working for you. If the team play is not working, 5-man pushes are not working, splitting is not working, defaulting is not working, and every single strategy and tactic that you tried is not working, lurk and flank. Otherwise, stay away from it.
Planted.
I don't know what to tell you there, like, but personally, I wouldn't shoot random shots through the smoke if I don't see the enemy and enemies don't know about you.
En la esquina, en la esquina, en la esquina, en la esquina. En la esquina, caja, caja, caja.
Lakina?
Caja aquí, caja. No, es la vuelta, loco.
One enemy
Ay, 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 bro.
hermano.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, what are we looking at? Ay, 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 baby. Okay.
En la esquina, caja, caja, caja. Caja aquí, caja. No, es la vuelta, loco.
one enemy remaining. Last player standing.
hermano.
I don't know what to tell you here, literally.
Hermano, he visto.
Here.
Okay. Okay, this is interesting. This might work. I like the idea. I like the idea. Like, sometimes you actually amaze me, you know? Sometimes, like, when you do some play, I'm like, bro, this guy is good. But sometimes I'm like, bro, what the fuck is he doing? Like, for example, this was not bad. This was not bad. Like, I understand what you were doing. You already sold the enemies an idea that, you know, you're using that smoke to play inside of it. But the problem is, this smoke, you can clear, you can set a pickle rick through this smoke and clear it. Like, essentially, when you're playing with short range weapons, in the choke points, it's always better to use some kind of fake one-way smokes to play inside of them and around them, or to use a cubby location smokes like this and like this to dodge the enemy's utility and fuck up the enemies around the smoke as they're pushing. When you do a smoke like this, most of the times, or you know, this smoke like here that you did, most of the times you will be good for one and die from the second guy, or die from the enemy's utility usage. Now, when Killjoy has the ultimate on bind, 99% of times you need to keep the control of the B long, because you know, the only effective position for her to use her ultimate is actually the B long position. Basically, this is the only ultimate that makes some kind of a sense and that has some kind of usage, essentially, like either basically in this corner here. Every other ultimate of Killjoy is piece of shit, basically. So that is why when the Killjoy has the ultimate, I usually play B side myself. But once again, you're selling all of this map control here, all of this map control here. You're not even trying to jiggle pick the enemies, jump spot the enemies. They can walk all the way up to the hookah, to the long, execute the site. Your teammates on the A are not ready for the rotation. They're still on the A side. You're selling too much space for the enemies on defense. That smoke is terrible. This rotation is also terrible. Like, how the fuck you know enemies are gonna go A? Are you a wizard? There's zero indicators, like nothing. What? Like, wait a bit. Plus, you have the ultimate. Here is when I will start my rotation. Aha, a lot of the gunshots, flashes there, etc, etc.
Vale, vale. No, yo estoy picando.
Man, even now, I wouldn't rotate, actually. Like, even now, I would have stayed on B side. Still, I would stay on B side. But if there was a chamber trademark there, so everyone is alive, why would I rotate? Even now, I would stay on B side. Because my teammates are 4 versus 4. And I have 3 teammates on A. And enemies can use that TP towards the B side at any moment of time. Even now, I would stay on B side. Even now, I will stay on B side. And now I will probably use my ultimate to rotate to A side and secure the round, or I will just rotate because, you know, we have a spike and we have very huge numbers advantage. in this situation, like, you just need to be aware that enemy Killjoy might have lurked all the way from the B to the CT. So right now, you know, if your teammates are already covering all of the choke points, just look at their anal cavities so that we're not losing this round in some stupid way. Like, when you're guarding the spike or guarding a certain positions, just make sure that you're looking that you're guarding the angles which your teammates are not guarding. Like, your primary focus should be the minimap and what your teammates are doing at that moment of time. Like, right now, the Killjoy can be anywhere. And that Viper is probably baiting for her. Rest in peace, Sky. Ooh, actually now Jet is aware. But Killjoy can be on tower. And Killjoy is on a tower.
One enemy remaining.
But okay, thanks God, like, she didn't have a better timing on you.
Seconds left.
Okay. Still, in this round, I would once again play B-side because Killjoy has the ultimate and it makes more sense for them to push the B-side with the ultimate. And I would really focus on garden control. I mean, you can control the garden with a simple one-way smoke, basically. Like, there's a lot of the one-way smokes that you're missing in your gameplay. And that you can definitely use to, like, outplay the enemies and essentially... Just a second. To outplay the enemies and deny the space from the enemies. Uno el momentus.
The enemy brought a spike. Kill them. My ultimate is ready.
So, on
30 seconds.
if you want to keep the full control of the garden position after fighting the enemies in long, simply just do this and that's it. One-way smoke on that ledge. Done. Or what you can do a one-way on top of this little pot on the wall there, like this. Pull it all the way down. Just a second, I don't see from this smoke at all. Like, basically there is a pot here on the wall. You put a smoke like this, and you can play inside of that smoke, right here. Your legs are not visible as the enemies are pushing in. If you're in the middle of that circle, let the enemies pass, let the enemies plant the Killjoy lockdown. Kill the Killjoy, kill the lockdown, save your teammates.
Tuck, tuck. Cover going out. Not ready yet.
Bro, on defender side, you need to start playing slightly more aggressive. I don't want you to push the enemies, I don't want you to lurk flank, but I want you to abuse more angles before you commit yourself to the last. Like, basically, this position that you're playing is my last position that I play. Like, sight. Like, you go long, like, use your shrouded steps, fuck up the enemies here, use this angle here, use the one-way smoke there, keep the control of the hookah garden, slowly digress towards the site, off angle here, hold the elbow, get back into the side. Like, how is this your main and final position?
You should run.
Like, essentially, the more utility and the more, like, abilities that the enemies waste as they're taking the space here is better for you. When they're pushing on the side, they won't have shit, number one. And number two, the more chances you take to kill the enemies, it's better for you, because you might kill the enemies. I don't see that you should be committing yourself to the 50-50 gunfights here and here, but holding the angles as narrow as your reaction time allows you. Fucking up the enemies with some kind of a utility usage. Fucking up the enemies with a paranoia as they're pushing through the B-long area of the map. There's so many different ways how we can outplay the enemies here and here, and it's far better than just sitting at the backside. You can play from the backside if, I don't know, enemies are equal in hull buy and you're playing a full buy round, maybe, sometimes. But starting a round like this, like, will hurt you a lot. Now we have no counter for that Killjoy ultimate. We're gonna get pushed from the site. I think this was a bit... This was actually, yeah, a bit, like, late. When should you, like, when do you need to use the Omen ultimate to escape the Killjoy ultimate if you want to cancel your ultimate? So basically, when there is 2 seconds to the lockdown, you're using the Omen ultimate, and then you will have time to cancel your ultimate and go back on the site, helping your breach. Right now, your breach is probably gonna die, and we're gonna lose the site control. So this teleport was stupido,
Va low la race.
but actually they somehow pushed A, and I don't know how, we have zero information about that.
Está en baños la race.
That Killjoy hurts,
Ulti,
but she's just whatever. Woo! Nice shot! Enemies can be short.
Standing.
This is, also remember that this is, you know, one of the main problems in your gameplay. Like how much you're taking your knife out instead of picking your gun, and how much you're pre-assuming that enemies are not somewhere. Like I would much rather have you pre-assume that enemies are everywhere and methodically and slowly clear everything, rather than running around with a knife and your cock out 24/7. Snuff them out. Once again, my dude, like Guardian Unbind at the backside as a main position. No wonders your win rate on bind is like shit. And you had, like, what is this, bro? The solution for this is like variety gameplay, abusing more like close range weapons, abusing operator more when the enemies have the poor utility usage, using more off angles and positions to stop the enemies push, and that's it. I firmly believe when it comes to your bind gameplay, just watch my bind playbook on both Jet and Omen. Your win rate will be 30% higher than what it is right now. 30%. Like it will go from, I don't know, 40% to minimum 52, 56%. If you apply everything from that playbook.
Hookah.
Cover going out.
40.
You see, because you know, this is something that you should apply on almost every single map in Valorant. Like you never want to sell the main control to the enemies without any early information. Like at least you should be jump spotting the enemies, jiggle peeking the enemies. Like when you're playing Ascent, the worst thing you can do on a map like Ascent is sell this control and just position here and here. Why? Because enemies can walk, play on contact, explode here, and then what? My teammates are still on A side. They will need 5 to 10 to 15 seconds to rotate, get ready for the retake. Spike is ticking down. I don't have time to defuse the spike to retake the side. That's it. Like, stupid.
Spike planted.
When it comes to your overall skill sets as a player, you know, like I would definitely say that I would rate your game knowledge basically 4 out of 10. Like you can work on your game knowledge so much more. Like actually 3 out of 10. Like when it comes to utility usage, strategies, tactics, tips and tricks, like there's so many more things that you can learn. When it comes to your game decisions, that is also like around 4 out of 10. Like you need to prioritize more like your most aggressive teammates, who is your primary focus and so on. When it comes to your team play, that is also around like 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10. When it comes to your overall adaptiveness as a player, 3, 4 out of 10. Like generally speaking, the only thing that is carrying you right now is your mechanical skill. And that's a huge problem. Your map awareness is also a bit of a problem. And essentially, after this VOD review, I'm gonna give you one specific training that you will be performing for around 3 to 4 months after this VOD review. And I feel that that specific training example will help you enormously, if you stick to it, to improve every single skill set of yours as a player. And I do recommend you to stick with the Jet, Raze, and Omen as a main agents to climb and drop that Reyna and Chamber to the trash can. In a short-term progress, Reyna and Chamber are gonna be better for you. But in a long-term progress, Jett and Omen are gonna be much, much better. And that's it. Okay, I'm dying right now. That's it for this VOD review. We're gonna chat through the private messages. If you want to get coached by me, join my Discord server. My coaching sessions are much better than this shit. Like, even though this VOD review lasted like 2 hours and 5 minutes. You're not a bad player. I see a huge potential, as I said. Like, I feel that you can easily be bare minimum Immortal 3 in this game in the next 4 to 5 months. If you truly commit yourself to the grind. And tomorrow we're continuing like the Unranked to Immortal with Raze. We're continuing with the Agent Playbook. Doing Guess the Rank. And tomorrow, I think tomorrow I'm doing the community custom game for Valorant points as well. Okay. Well, if you guys for the second YouTube channel, subscribe, leave a like, all that good stuff, and that's it. Mwah!